Ah.
You tell the candlemaker everything about your encounter with the monster he was so afraid of.
He ate his people in order to protect them. That's unbelievable. Greedy bastard. You see, he knew they'd be safer with me. But the only things he cared about were his own pride and influence.
You show Luch the pouch you found on the ground. When he takes a look inside, his eyes suddenly light up.
I wasn't sure, but I know whose pouch it is. It belonged to Val. Everyone loved her. She was a star, poor Val. But there's something strange about this.
He disappears into his secret room.
You did well. And I haven't... The monster must carry at least one more... thing. Bring me that second item. The monster must carry at least one more... thing with him. Bring me that second item. And I... This will do, yes.
The candlemaker disappears into the room you're forbidden from entering.
So, I have two answers for you. I know how to save your friend. And his condition is in no way useful for our village. It's just The sad truth here is that your friend was a soldier and a coward in life. This means that... It means that he wants to be punished for them. He wants to be purified. See, it's all in his head. He can get up, and yet, it's not that simple.
There's an old saying. You can still see the... Your steps become slow and labored as weakness spreads throughout your body. Leaves rustle, twigs snap, and suddenly a mysterious creature emerges. The creature raises its hand and extends a... You hear a whisper mixed with faint, mocking laughter.
Coward.
The creature disappears into the weirdness. Your path grows increasingly inaccessible as the branches of weirdness, crooked trees splay in all directions. Suddenly, you come upon a woman who, judging by what remains of her tattered clothes, must have been someone of importance at some point in her life. You can't focus on her garb, though, because as she turns, you realize that she's feasting on the rotting flesh of a dead monster. Blood and ichor drip from her open mouth.
Who do we have here? A stranger? It might be your lucky day, wanderer.
The woman giggles flirtatiously and covers her jagged teeth with one hand.
Give me your life's essence, and I will reward you with my precious stones. Unfortunately, this specimen here is running low.
You explain that the seamstress asked for a skin sample from a countess. The woman smiles briefly at the mention of her title, but that smile soon twists into a cynical smirk.
And what's in it for me? What do I gain from helping you?
She draws nearer and whispers,
I'll tell you this. Let me taste your blood, and I'll forget you even asked. That's not a request to make, not to a lady.
You see a glimmer of joy in her eyes. She takes your hand and inspects it with care. Suddenly, before you can react, everything goes dark for a...
Now that was interesting. There's something different about you. As if the body you're in isn't your actual.
She looks you straight.
I'm not angry anymore. To tell you the truth, I'm lonely. Wandering this land all alone with no one to talk to.
Her expression and tone become serious.
I know why your sorceress wants a piece of my flesh. It's clever. And observant, I have to admit, but I won't give it to you. I'll make a deal with you, though. Cure me of my loneliness. Find me someone special, someone who'd be willing to spend the rest of this cursed eternity with me. Do that, and I will help you in return.
You show her the bouquet you received from the florist. You can sense that she's overcome with joy.
Give it to me. This is the most magical gift I've ever received. Like it was made just for me. Tell me who made such a wonderful bouquet?
You tell her everything there is to tell her.
What a surprise it is to find someone so gentle and pure survived in this world. Please let him know that I say yes. I want to meet him. Immediately.
Oh, good to see you. I told you about the nature of my crime. And I've been sitting here for years. Cursed as...
Judging by the way he looks and by the thickness of the roots linking his body to the fire...
Thank you. That means a lot to me. To be honest, at this point, I don't even care if I live or die.
He looks at you as if he suddenly remembered something.
Did you have any luck with that sample you took by any chance? Did your friends find any way to help me?
You explain what you learned. The man looks at you with a puzzled stare.
I suppose it makes sense.
The flame burns brighter.
I've had all the time in the world to think about what I did in the past. But what you said, what you did for me, it made me realize I did the best I could at the time.
You see blue veins crushing...
Yes, I forgive myself.
You see blue veins crushing under his feet when he tries to move. He struggles. His movements are slow.
I forgive myself.
He stands up in front of you, free from the fire.
Thank you.
Suddenly, his body starts disintegrating into a cloud of smoke, and eventually into dust. All that's left here is the fire. So his final wish was to die? At least he has found peace at last. You sit alone by the flickering flames. You sense that the fire is somehow different. The blades of this lone windmill creak and groan as you approach. It's as if they're trying to warn you about something. When you enter, the miller strides towards you and immediately announces,
Apologies, but I can't let you in.
The man looks at you with an unamused expression.
You weren't invited. Besides, the ceremony is in progress, so there's not much to be done about it. I'm afraid I'm not in a position to tell you. The way it works is that you need to receive a written invitation from someone who's already a member of the group. Apologies.
feels like an echo of something that happened before. The blacksmith.
What can I...
Ah. The monster. Bring me that.
You're back already? Go.
You tell him about the man you encountered during your travels in the weirdness. You mention that he's collecting stones to build his kingdom while still wearing the coat of arms of Lord Warwick.
How is it possible that so many good people die, but the scum always survive? I'm pretty sure that the man you met isn't actually a man, but a true example of a human monster. It seems that his mind was twisted beyond recognition by the weirdness. You see, Lord Warwick had a son, and I refused to train him because I saw how he treated the other soldiers. He was a cruel, unapologetic, and vicious brat. He was full of delusions of grandeur. He imagined himself as the Lord Commander of Arthur's armies and whatnot. He kept saying that he'd rule over his father's kingdom, or he'd burn it to the ground and create a new one, a better one. Seeing as how everything around us has gone to hell, what would you say about a little favor? It will be messy, but I'd really like to see this bastard erased from existence.
What can I do?
You did it. Congratulations.
You can tell that the goat is anxious to see what happens next.
There's only one tiny problem that I kind of forgot to mention, you see.
Of course there is.
This thing that you're about to face, let's call it the Essence, is a rather important part of this world. It is responsible for its own corruption, yes. But is it also responsible for a lot of other things? Probably. I have no idea. So, to be honest, you'll actually be the first to find out what happens when you kill it. Good luck.
expect something spectacular to happen, but there's silence. Overwhelming silence. Then, after what feels like an eternity, a familiar voice.
No, we can't have that.
Death snaps its bony fingers. The monster you slew returns to life. It growls angrily, but suddenly disappears before it can attack. It's hard to tell, but you get the sense that Death is disappointed.
I told you that slaying the 4 Guardians would lead you to your destination.
The goat materializes out of nowhere and hovers in the air above you, clearly unable to move. He looks absolutely terrified.
But instead of telling me that you've achieved your goal, my servant decided to act on his own initiative and push you in this direction. This violates every single rule we have. Not to mention that it also negates the plan we crafted for this world. I already told you before, this reality is governed by a simple story. It's good versus evil. And in every story, beyond every evil deed, there is a cause. You humans never speak about these causes. They're not important in the stories you tell yourselves. Defeating a monster, check. Killing a god, check. Leaving home, check. And yet, these are easy solutions which never address the root cause of the issue. But you're not interested in causes. You're interested in simple relief. And that relief lies in the knowledge that good will prevail eventually. Simple stories have simple causes. In this one, the root of corruption was in the monster you slew. Instead of fighting the symptoms, as stories demand, and as I've instructed you, you went ahead and addressed the real cause. You solved the problem. If I didn't intervene, this world would have come to an end. And we can't have that. Not yet. You've grown quite fond of it, haven't you? I guess we'll see, after I come back to see how you fared with your new task. I'm going to change a couple of things in your story.
Death looks up to the sky. Perhaps it's thinking about something. After some time, it speaks.
From now on, every hero trying to save their reality, just like you, will be able to face this monster. You can keep training with the Avalonian or decide to fight this creature. I'll make sure that you see how you compare with other warriors. But from now on, your main goal will be to free every soul you meet in this reality from corruption. When you've done that, we can talk.